At a place where the condemned have their lives taken, a Texan charged with keeping the convicted behind bars is unshakably convinced his time atop these Huntsville walls very nearly killed him too.
I just couldn't figure out why I was getting so sick.
8 hours a day, often 6 days a week.
I just started feeling weaker and weaker and dizzy.
Joseph Milam stood guard in the tower they call Six Picket.
My blood pressure was so high I wouldn't even write it down because people talk about how insane I was for staying there and allowing that to happen.
You see, before assignment to the pickets, this career public servant was in pretty good health. Near certain he was somehow being poisoned, Milam's eyes settled on the heavy power lines strung just a few feet away.
Carried a gauge up there with me one day, which, you know, they probably would have fired me had they known about.
That gauge, known as a tri-field milligauss meter, quickly confirmed for Joseph Milam that his body was being saturated by a powerful electromagnetic field. A force many scientists consider a dangerous form of pollution. Milam says solving the mystery saved him from a heart attack.
I do not think I could have lasted another month.
It's an undisputed fact that the ever-increasing electrification of our world has produced escalating exposure to electromagnetic fields. In addition to power lines, televisions, microwave ovens, clock radios, cell phones, nearly any gadget, big or small, powered by electricity, casts off invisible waves of EMF, some way more than others. And for most of the last century and well into this one, scientists and doctors have told us not to worry.
Absolutely, totally safe.
That's Stuart Bushong, a radiology professor at Baylor College of Medicine. He says EMF, even a lot of EMF, can't hurt us because the waves simply don't produce enough heat to damage human cells in a way that could cause cancer.
No sweat. Absolutely no sweat.
But some are sweating it, entire nations. Fueled in part by studies that show children exposed to heavy levels of EMF have a greater chance of leukemia, Sweden and several other countries in the European Union have established strict safety thresholds, limits far below what's commonplace in the U.S.
I think it's going to be one of the biggest health risks we've ever seen.
Dr. William Ray is a cardiovascular surgeon and founder of the Environmental Health Center in Dallas. He believes Americans bombarded by EMF are at enormous peril because the impact on mind and body appear to accumulate over time.
I think for some people there are no safe levels, and I think we're just beginning to realize that.
Ray says the number of electrically sensitive patients seeking care at his clinic has exploded. He also believes studies linking asthma, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease to EMF exposure will be verified.
I think you have to look at the whole spectrum of disease, and you may find in certain people it's triggered by the electromagnetics.
And yet nearly every study pegging EMF as a genuine health hazard has been matched by research claiming the magnetic waves produced by power lines and electrical appliances are benign. This evidentiary stalemate has prompted the Center for Disease Control and the National Cancer Institute to insist that there is little conclusive proof EMF causes cancer or any other disease in children or adults. For those who deliver electricity in America, that's amounted to a green light for business as usual.
We've not seen evidence that it's unsafe.
Floyd LeBlanc speaks for CenterPoint Energy, the company which owns and operates much of the electrical infrastructure in the greater Houston area. He says the effort to minimize EMF levels is part of a nationwide philosophy known as prudent avoidance.
There is no standard in the United States. Again, there's not been a scientific conclusion as to whether these fields are safe or unsafe. Generally, you try to keep the field exposure as low as possible.
In southwest Houston, Fox 26 gauged EMF at just 2 CenterPoint substations near homes and pedestrian walkways. At both locations, we detected levels at least 30 times above what's considered safe in Europe.
We really haven't taken a look at Europe and what's going on over there.
Back in Huntsville, a now retired and healthy Joe Milam believes folks who just can't figure out why they feel bad might consider limiting the electricity in their lives.
I don't think I would be alive today had I not done studying research on my own.
Just one witness in a world awash in wattage and still mysterious invisible waves. For now, the only thing certain is our uncertainty. In Huntsville, Greg Grugan, Fox 26 News.